محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر
I don't know how to remove the filters on this thing, but anyway, I just wanted to have a conversation, which is more so a conversation with myself. I said this a few months ago, is that posting on here is not about posting, you know, for people that are by themselves, that live alone. It's more so about socializing with other people in a different way. So the video is about me talking to myself and saying things out loud and bouncing other ideas off of other people. I was walking home and I was caught in a call to prayer, and I've lived here for about 2.5 years in a Muslim country, which I never thought that I'd move to. I'd been trying to move overseas for 6 years. From 2018, I'd been applying to jobs overseas because I wanted to live abroad. I was not married, I didn't have kids. I love to travel, so I'd been trying to move overseas for a really, really long time. So I'd been applying and I never got any traction until I started applying to the Middle East, and then I got traction, like I got interviews, I got this and this or whatever. And eventually, after only February to after 7 months only, I got a job offer, and then I eventually moved here. So in my head, obviously the Middle East clearly was meant to be, because I'd been applying in Europe for 6 years and got zero traction. But immediately when I started applying for the Middle East, I got tons of interviews and don't. Okay, anyway, today I was walking home and there was a call to prayer, and today it hit me in a completely different way than it usually does. You know, I come from it will be really strange for some of you to comprehend, but I come from an Islamic / Anglican household. My grandfather comes from a family that is from a church called Kereke Matopia. So the Ethiopian church from the Eastern Cape, and then that family went on to become Anglican. But as far as I know, still Ematopia, as far as the church is, the founders of the church, which were my great-great-great-grandfather, are still recognized, obviously, as the starters of the church. And in PE, we still have a street named after us because of the fact that my lineage had started that church. Okay, then my grandfather then moved on to the Anglican church and as obviously a church that's more established and all other things. However, my grandfather in between had turned to Islam, and when he died, I'd taken his first edition Quran that is in Xhosa. It is somewhere in this house, but for some reason I cannot find it. These are the books that I can find right in this moment. I just walked in, so I really just wanted to record this because it was in my heart, and I knew that if I took any more time, I wouldn't record it. How do I turn this camera that way? So this is a 1926 book, and this is one of the first edition Xhosa books, Xhosa Bible translations. And this is one of the first editions. Wait, let's see. Wait, why are these pages not turning? But this is one of the, when we say hymn books, this is one of the hymn books, but this page cannot open. But this is also one of the earlier books that were published. And I suspect these are all either 1920s or not. This is The Life of Muhammad. This is when my grandfather was trying to get into Islam. Do we have a year over here? This is in 1990. Then the book that I'm actually missing is a Quran from 1928, which my grandfather inherited, and when he died, I took from his house. I cannot remember if I left it ekhaya. My mum is on my TikTok, so she can let me know if I left it at his house. But he had a 1928 Quran that was in Xhosa, a Xhosa Quran that was in his house, and he left and he used. And obviously, because I think of his father being a scholar of biblical literature, or can I say theological literature, and then he then subsequently converted to Islam. Now, for me, living in an Islamic country, I don't know if I'm making things that don't need to connect, but I've been super fascinated about Islam as someone who sprouted in their the place that I did well the most is in the industry that I'm in now, which is alcohol, which is not permissible in Islam. But I've had such a difficult relationship with alcohol, feeling like this is not what I should be doing with my life. alcohol is so poisonous and all kinds of things, you know. And two things are true. I've been super successful because of alcohol, and I've also not felt at home in my body because of alcohol. And I've asked myself, you know, various questions about how I can quit, how I can leave alcohol, but maybe still be in the industry, or leave the industry completely, but also having other employers be impartial to me because I've been in alcohol my whole life as far as career wise. But I don't know. I don't know if I'm wrong or right, or like trying to connect dots that don't connect as far as, you know, everyone needs anchorage. And I've had this journey before where I'm looking for anchorage, and I thought I need to go into Christian ministry and blah, 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 blah. And now living in this region, there's a question of should I move to Islam or not? So it's, yeah, just really interesting, and really I'm in an introspective space. So I don't know.
أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله